Hello, hello, teachers. It's great to be back again. I've been wanting to do this session for a while, but we got sidetracked with the MCQs. So here it is. This is Art Integrated Learning, AIL, and first flight for class 10. Today, we are going to attempt integrating elements of art while transacting one of the really cool poems, Amanda, of class 10. So there you go, you have Amanda. Let's get this pointer on for convenience. Beautiful. All right. So when we think of the poem Amanda, there are a whole lot of things that come to mind. It is a kind of a dramatic monologue. You have another little girl who's, for the want of a better word, getting nagged by her parent and such. Right. So now there are a lot of ways to go about it. But the first thing, like I always say, the first thing is to get ready with our objectives. Why are we using these pieces of art, or what is it that we want the kids to pick up via this art form? Right. Please remember, once again, not all chapters or poems may lend themselves to art integrated learning. So there's no pressure. There are other ways, other tools you can use as pedagogy in the classroom, right? So I would say that for me as a teacher, the objectives would be the students, by the time I finish with the poem, the students, amongst other things, and these are the objectives just for AIL. The students would be able to listen to a song or explore a cartoon. So my basic thing is they would develop a thematic connection with the poem. So now I'm opening this. This is my lead in, this is my icebreaker or warm up or whatever you want to call it. That's where I'm using my art, right? So analyze and discuss the situations causing moms to react a certain way. Please remember, we are treading thin ice here. If we can get the kids to appreciate the poem for what it is, rather than get personal about their family, it might be it might be healthy, right? Evaluate the situation from the child's viewpoint. So now you have Amanda and you have her mother. So the child should be able to do this as well as analyze and discuss why moms react this way. Present memes, comic strips, or perform a role play based on understanding of a similar situation, and create products showcasing the invaluable presence of a mother in one's life. It's very important because we need to nudge them in the right direction. Whatever the condition might be, the presence of a mother is invaluable. We might want to be very sensitive as teachers if we know our children well, and we know that there has a loss of a certain parent for some of our little ones in the classroom. We might want to tread this path a little carefully, right? Be sensitive to it rather, right? Okay. So these are the objectives, and let's begin. So my first resource, art resource, would be a song. I highly recommended this one. I first chanced upon it when I heard a good friend of mine, Ms. Jamila, mention it in one of the webinars, and I looked it up and I found that it is absolutely perfect. As a teacher, I wouldn't use anything else, right? Because when I use this song, it allows me to, target the listening skills as well as the poem. So I'm doing literature as well as my listening skills. We are this one integration of art, right? So develop a thematic connection with the poem. Now, I obviously cannot play the song for you. I would have loved to, but I've put in the link in the description, right? And I'll tell you what the name of the song is. It is the Mom Song. Okay, it's the Mom Song, and it's by the comedian Anita Renfro. She sings about everything a mom can say all day. When you listen to this, the first thing she says is, there are so many things a mother says in 24 hours. I will try and pack it for you in 2 minutes. Okay, just to give you an idea what the song is, just look at this. It's something like our very own Shankar Mahadevan's Breathless. So she barely breathes. It just goes on and on and on and on, giving you that feeling of a mother saying things for you. But obviously, it comes from a good place. So once you make them listen to this, you could obviously either get them to do a listening piece on this song, a listening task, or you could ask them the kind of questions that you want to ask them. So, what are the kind of questions you would ask them? The first thing I reckon you would like to, first time they listen, you would probably want to ask them, what is the emotion? What is the emotion? I mean, is it blowing the top, or is it a no, or is it fear, or what is it? A frustration, what is it? So, they might say anything. Then the next time you make them listen to the song, you could have some fill-ups for the lyrics, or several other, an MCQ kind of a thing, because they'll have to really listen. It goes really fast, right? So that's one. I highly recommend this one, right? Now, if you don't want to go with the song and the infrastructure, or the operational aspects don't allow for a song to be played at that point of time, I would suggest this cartoon. Now, you're not going out in that. I don't care, you don't have a toothbrush, use a stick. So look at their expressions and look at the body language. Okay, look at the folded arms. So get them to notice all of this. It's a cartoon from the New York Times. It's called, under the series, Mothers Without Borders. So you need to ask them all of that. So I have a couple of questions. Discuss what you see in this cartoon from the New York Times. Why do you think it is titled Mothers Without Borders? Because, I mean, hey, they all do it, don't they? Yeah, they love us. So they would definitely do it. I'm guilty of doing this a lot with my child. Create another cartoon for this, so one more mother, can you create that? Or can you speak aloud what you think a fifth mother would say? So you could have an Indian mother, and what do you think the mother would say in the same way? And so you have them in pairs, they create this. They could even use a stick figure, no worries, And what really matters is this. So you ask them to speak aloud. So each pair sort of stands up and speaks aloud in that tone. You could ask them to read this out using the right intonation and expression. It's a lot of fun. Okay, and what kind of body language would they use when they are saying this particular thing? So that's a good opening. You're getting them to sort of open up to the theme as the objective suggests, right? The next theme, the students will be able to analyze and discuss the situations causing moms to react a certain way. Now, the child needs to understand why the mother is doing it, right? So I would like to do this via some illustrations. So they are easily available when you're surfing the net. You have this one, it's very popular. I'm sure as teachers, you've already seen this. You have this one, you've already must have come across this. My point is that I'd like you to draw the kids' attention to these things. What is this? And why this? So they'd probably say, so you could bring in the concept of the helicopter parent, the micromanagement. Look at this person's face, he's just all a daze. And then you look at this reaction, look at the reaction, the difference in reactions of both the children. And what do you reckon the mother is actually saying? What is the situation here? What are the children thinking really? Are they actually paying attention? So this is exactly where you're leading them to what the poem is all about. I would also say that this is about thinking, discussing, and writing. So you could have a bit of a worksheet. Let me just minimize this and take you there. So you would have a bit of a worksheet like this. Let me just increase this for you. Yeah. So you would have a bit of a worksheet like this. You could have a class and section, group number and names, the same visual that I showed you. Observe and discuss the photographs as a detective. So get your analytical thinking hat on, supply evidence for your hypothesis. So what is the inspection that the detective has to do? What is the situation? What could have been the possible cause? What is your opinion about it? So they are doing it in pairs or groups, I would reckon, and it might be a good task. So they're thinking, right? So then you could ask them to write words you will associate with the moms. Look at the expression. What are the words you would associate with the moms? What are the words you would associate with the kids? Are there any common words to both mom and kids? Okay. So probably both are frustrated, I would say. And it doesn't end there. The thoughts of the children in both the images, let them talk about it. I'm sure some would say that they are upset, they are ashamed, they are irritated, or they just simply are switched off, which is where we want to take them, right? And then you could say design a meme for moms and kids facing this situation. They love doing all of this. Yeah. Let's get back to the presentation, right? I showed you all of this, and let's move on to the next one. The students will be able to analyze and discuss the situations causing moms to react a certain way. Now, this is extremely important because they need to know the other side as well, right? So I would be recommending a YouTube video and then a think, discuss, and write kind of a worksheet, or a role play with this, right? So this is the video. I've put in the link in the description box there down below if you check. And this is called Things Parents Nag About. So it's an Asian child who sort of created this. It's in English, but there are subtitles as well. I would say that you could take it to about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. You needn't show the whole video to them. It would give them the picture. Once they've seen it, don't stop there, right? Once they've seen it, they laugh, they look, Once they've seen it, ask them, give them situations, each pair. Give them situations, their reactions, things parents nag about. So how would a set of parents react to if you've worn on jeans, you're watching TV over the time that you have been allowed, when you're sleeping till noon, when you're using your mobile at dinner time, when your room is cluttered and untidy. Ooh, just speaking about all this is stressing me out, right? It makes me want to say something to the child. So once they have done this, and while, okay, a pair has come up and done when you've worn torn jeans, right? So they've performed. What are the others doing? They're not supposed to sit there feeling bored. Or you could have groups of 3 where the third person is the observer. And what is the observer supposed to do? Is supposed to evaluate. Okay, is supposed to evaluate what makes the parent react in that manner. How could the child have responded? Or whether the response given by the child was uh, was something that gets the parent to calm down or is logical. So that is the evaluation the observer does. It works very well, I assure you. Yeah. So you have groups of 3. The third person is the one who is sort of evaluating. The other 2 are sort of discussing or doing the role play, right? Or you could simply have a worksheet where you ask these questions about asking them to evaluate as they are viewing their video. Then you have creating memes. The students will be able to present memes, comic strips, or perform a role based on their understanding of a similar situation. So we are using memes, we are using comic strips. Here you go. Look at this, look at the meme. I'm not a nag, I'm a motivational speaker. That's a mother. And then you have this one. Yep, okay, all right, yep, I will, yep, okay, all right, okay. So this is what the child is probably responding like. So what is it that the mother is saying really? There's another meme, when your mom keeps nagging you about how lazy you are. Look at the expression. You call it nagging, I call it listen to what I said the first time. That's the mother saying it. So, they would love to create memes. I'm sure they would love to. They can reach out to different kind of images or film actors' faces or whatever they want to do, right? That's one, creating memes. Let's use a comic strip. So to understand a similar situation, so this is one comic strip. All these links have been given in the description below. So please don't worry. So that's another comic strip, and then they read it, they probably laugh, and then you sort of blank out and say, now you create one. And this is one way of doing it, that you've sort of blanked out stuff in the same comic strip, or you could ask them to create their own. How do they create their own? They just simply take images, and you could sort of, get them to do this. So this is one full frame, or they could take, pictures of actors with the same expression and have something written. You could even ask them to play it out. You could ask them to play it out in their local language or their mother tongue. That's not a problem. The problem is them understanding what is happening there, right? So that's another way of going about it. Like I said, a role base. Now, this is one of my favorites. Again, I have used a product label. You won't believe, there is a company called the Angry Mother Soap Company in Nagaland. Okay, it's all natural handmade bath and body products which are manufactured in Nagaland by the Naga lady Akitoli, right? And the product is eco-conscious, skin-friendly, etc. I just chanced upon it. What really amused me was that it's called the Angry Mother Soap Company. So Angry Mother is what really got me. And I thought that if we showcase the product labels for the child, if you see, each expression is different. So probably if you sort of, enlarge this and give it to different pairs in your classroom, they have to act out a situation which causes this particular reaction from the mother. So that would work very, very well. And you're using art because you're using a product label. It's from Nagaland. It's great. You can bring about awareness of the product as well. It's a beautiful thing you could do, right? So that's one. And like I said, we need to end all of this. And then you can go on to sort of engaging with the poem, do what you do best. You do that magically, the literary devices, this, that's a different pedagogy. I'm just talking about art integration, right? And when you end, we do not end on a note that mothers nag and children switch off and go off into their own world. We end on a note saying that mothers are invaluable, right? No matter what they do. Okay, so we would end with a creation element where, they would love to express themselves. So something like this, they could do it in this form. They could, create a mini poster. They could have a little bit of a letter. Okay, look at I'm sorry for all the bullshit I gave you. So the acknowledgement. So please showcase these. And these two songs, these are beautiful. They are celebrating mothers. Okay, so this is from Boys to Men, and this is from Good Charlotte. Thank you, Mom, and a song for Mama. Play them in the classroom. You can use listening skills for this one as well. You can ask them to reorder the lyrics and, so that they can read the lyrics themselves too. So that would be a great place to end, I reckon. Right? So all these links, whatever I have shown you, at least 90% of them, they are given in the description below, right? As far as I'm concerned, that's just about it. You can teach beautifully. You've been doing that for years. My job was to just give an example of how I would sort of deal with this poem. Again, a reminder, please do not overuse art. Use it in one odd place. That's just about enough, right? It should not become stale. There are other ways. You could use puppets, you could have storytelling, you could have so many other things. You could even integrate sports, and there's so many things that you could do, right? So here you go. And as far as I'm concerned, please do not forget to check out the resource links below in the description. And now I've been trained well enough to tell you, please subscribe. And I've also been told to tell you to click on the bell. right? Why? I've discovered I had to actually Google to figure out why this has to be clicked, because you get notifications. You get notifications if there is something new that has come up, right? Great. On that note, stay safe, stay empowered, okay? And keep rocking. God bless you all. Bye-bye.